I worked in a law firm for about 6-7 months. Realized that I don't want to do this.
Do you think sort of like the culture or the mentorship was lacking when you were working in the legal profession?
I realized I kind of not making a difference. I'm not creating a lot of difference while working here. I'm just trying to figure out the basic 100-200 rupees labor laws ki penalties, and I'm charging the client 5,000 6,000 per hour. So that didn't make sense to me at that point.
Just want to understand, at what point did you realize like, okay, this my time at law firm has to end, and now want to create content.
One of the startups where I worked before this, one of the giant edtechs, those people reached out to me. They wanted to buy the channel at first.
You have like over 1 lakh subscribers on YouTube, more than 1,000 people taking up your course right now.
I have never seen somebody who is so manipulative in my life. Chalo, theek hai, you keep your startup, I'll keep mine.
Hi everyone, welcome to Wish I Knew That, a podcast where we talk about careers outside law, navigating your legal career, and channelizing your inner curiosity. I am your host Preeti, and in today's episode, I am joined by Keshav Malpani, a graduate from National Law University Jodhpur, who made a career pivot from working at a law firm to then starting his YouTube channel and then founding a edtech company. So let's dive in today's episode. Keshav, could you introduce yourself to our listeners and someone who's watching this episode?
Yeah, so just I think you introduced me a little bit. So by profession, as a lawyer, I graduated from National Law University Jodhpur. I worked at a law firm for about 6-7 months. Realized that I don't want to do this. Actually, an interesting thing about me is that I graduated in 2020, which was the COVID year. So we graduated prematurely, went home in March, and the jobs that were supposed to start in May were postponed till October. So beach mein there was a lot of time. There was complete social distancing. So we decided that we would do something घर पे. I had my brother as well, so he also decided कि चलो कुछ करते हैं, let's do something. So we figured out कि we should start something, some sort of a YouTube channel, because while I was also preparing for CLAT and while I was in college also, most of the people that I saw were helping students prepare for CLAT did not have the first-hand experience. I mean, it's not just about teaching concepts, it's about making you understand that, okay, these are certain things that would be problematic. Last month, these are certain things you need to do. Just a vague idea.
And someone who actually went to law school and did the same thing.
Did the same thing. So there was no first-hand experience generally with the people who were teaching. So I just started this as a hobby. I did not know how to record a video. I was very bad at everything. And I honestly did not know how to click proper pictures also while I was in college. So we started it. We borrowed a camera from somebody. We just gave it a go. 6 months, 7 months down the line, before my job started, it started picking up. People started liking the content. We tried to be really honest. That is what we try even now. Then I joined my law firm. Law firm worked out. I realized with my law firm, I won't be able to continue with my channel because there was a lot of things going on in the law firm as well. Then one of the startups where I worked before this, one of the giant edtechs, those people reached out to me. They wanted to buy the channel at first, and I did not know what valuation to say for a channel which had 4,000, 5,000 subscribers back then. But then, once...
That's a lot.
I mean, at that point in time, I couldn't, because I was just doing it for a hobby. So they were like, we'll give you XYZ amount. I was like, यार मतलब अभी मेरे relevant नहीं है इतना पैसा, but I just do it for fun. Sometimes whenever I want to create it, I do it. So later when I realized कि मैं law firm में I can't work anymore, I realized I kind of not making a difference. I'm not creating a lot of difference while working here. I'm just trying to figure out the basic 100-200 rupees labor laws ki penalties, and I'm charging the client 5,000 6,000 per hour. So that didn't make sense to me at that point. I thought I'll do something interesting or maybe something that I like. So my mom is a teacher. I've seen her teaching since my childhood. We used to have some sort of English speaking classes in our houses as well. So I used to see how she used to teach, and that is how I inculcated that thing as well. And then I became very regular with my content and everything, and so far this is what's been going. So long introduction about me, but this is me.
Yeah, no, I really like it. So one thing I want to go back to is the reason you joined law school. What was your motivation behind? Of course, probably building a very good professional career is one, and just maybe proving or getting a societal validation. What's the reason that you had when you joined law school?
Honestly, when I started preparing for CLAT, it was not very clear as to what I was going to do. I was very clear that I was a commerce student, but I did not want to prepare for chartered accountancy because I wanted to do a course जहाँ पर you go to college, right? मतलब I didn't want to stay at home and prepare or go to a coaching and come back. So I was figuring out my options, but by then I had taken admission in one of the colleges in Delhi University. So while I was studying there, 3-4 months, 5 months down the line, I realized that only this won't help. At some point in time, maybe after college, I'll have to prepare for some all India exam, or I can do it now also. So somebody told me about CLAT back then. So I figured it out. I figured out what would be the syllabus, कैसे चीज़ें होंगी. And one of the things that I really teach now, and I used to like at that time also, was GK current affairs, and I was decent at it, I would say. So I thought, okay, this is something that I can do. It has 50% of the syllabus. I think 40% or something has current affairs. So I started preparing for it. Thing worked out by in that particular year. So I went to NLU Jodhpur. So there was no plan of sorts that I want to become a lawyer. I don't think anybody wants to become a lawyer unless and until their parents are lawyers, right? It just happens by accidents.
Half of my classmates from Jindal came from family of lawyers. So I could see a difference, like the way they were picking their career, the way they were talking about who they want to work with.
Yeah.
It was very different from conventional understanding because, of course, their families or parents were coming in and guiding them better.
Definitely. When I went to law school, I didn't know that something like corporate law existed back then, because it's actually a big advantage for first generation lawyers. You get paid well from the starting. You get to do good work as well. So that was the case. I interned a lot in various law firms while I was in my law school. But yeah, when I started working it, I didn't like it too much. So I kind of left it.
I think there's like a drawback when we are interning. We don't realize like that's how it's gonna be. Like if you're not liking it right now, there's like no other possibility that you're gonna like your job.
Yeah, I mean during internship also, I knew that we were working really late. We were working until 2-3 in the night, but we used to give it everything just to land a job there.
Correct.
कि हम कर लेंगे. But then once it started, for the first 4-5 months, I was really excited about my job also while I was doing it, because it was good money. And the first time I was trying I earn my own money, I was getting my own stuff. But 4-5 महीने बाद, when my needs got all like मैंने सब ले लिया whatever I wanted, I was like कि अब I don't need to work for this money, so I should do something that really makes sense.
Do you think sort of like the culture or the mentorship was lacking when you were working in the legal profession?
I think so. Actually, particularly talking about any law firm, like not just my law firm for that matter, in the initial years, everybody is too overworked in law firms. So nobody has a lot of time that they would guide you at everything. Because I realized after 5 years of law school, law firm was very different. We just did theoretical stuff there, which probably like is not even applicable in a law firm setup. But yeah, I mean, mentorship is obviously, it can be better. Even the complete structures of law firms can be a lot better. For example, if you know the role of HR in a law firm, HR seriously has no role in a law firm. It's just confirming internships and sending emails that today chutti, tomorrow is holiday, happy birthday.
And I don't know if any HR ever replied to my internship application. Yeah. I can't recall any HR doing that.
They don't do it. And I mean, they do not have a lot of autonomy also. HR has to be a different department in an organization where they do a lot of things, right? Law firms में HR is like, we used to consider HR like कि चिको इनके email भेज के बस इनसे follow up करना, that is the HR.
I think what's changing now is that different teams are cropping up in law firm, like business development, knowledge management, innovation. I think that's changing now, and I'm happy about it. Like someone else would get to pick that and probably work on creative and nicer things that matter actually. At the end of the day, you have to do business development, right? You need to bring the client in, and of course it's getting very competitive. So I think teams like these were very important back then as well. Just want to understand, at what point did you realize like, okay, my time at law firm has to end, and now I want to create content and like put it out on YouTube? Were you also like comfortable with camera or like speaking up, all of that?
Starting I don't think so. I still have those videos. Like I've saved those videos in my system as well. So starting I had no idea, but thankfully a lot of things worked out for me in a way that so my neighbors, they used to have a studio, the marriage studios that we have, they do video shootings and all, right? So I had no idea how to use a camera, what should be the angle, what should be the lighting, no idea. So I called them once. I asked them how does the system work, and thankfully one of the person who used to work in that studio used to play cricket with us when we were like in school.
Okay.
So he was a friend. So he
I
came.
like
he's
how you used your immediate network to help you.
yeah, because there was उससे ज़्यादा बाहर जा भी नहीं सकते थे. It was COVID. There was complete social distancing. So he came. He said कि आप ये गलत कर रहे हो. This is how you need to figure it out. And then we figured it out. It just like jugaad se it started somehow.
Yeah.
And after a year or 1.5 years, then we actually professionally started getting our videos edited.
Because then you started seeing the traction.
Yeah, traction as well. I was with Unacademy as well, so I knew that
Yeah.
this is something that has to grow with it. So yeah.
Talking about traction, so Keshav, you have like over 1 lakh subscribers on YouTube, more than 1,000 people taking up your course right now.
Yeah.
I know this all looks very glamorous, but do you want to take a step back and like talk about the behind the scenes that happened to reach this point?
I think, yeah, I mean, it's been a very topsy-turvy sort of a journey. As in, when I was working in the same field at a top edtech startup, as we discussed, I used to realize that there are a lot of things which I try to put right, but I'm not able to do it because I don't have the deciding power. So there was always that sort of a feeling that when I start one day, I will ensure that these mistakes would not happen in my system. So I learned a lot from there also. I mean,
What exactly were you doing over there at
so I was
the
only
edtech
an
startup?
educator, although, but we were called multiple times to the main office, wherein we used to discuss as to how do we, create more traction, how do we ensure that our value offerings are actually valuable. It's something that really helps students do what they want to do. So we used to do a lot of free classes of sorts, but free classes में ऐसा होता था कि most of the time we were not creating value. So we would give our inputs because most of the people who were a part of the managing team were MBA grads. MBA grads को CLAT की preparation के बारे में ज़्यादा नहीं पता था. So it was us who used to give them all sort of insights. So that is how I got into that mode कि अच्छा this is how it's done, and then we would get the budgets approved. We would do
Got
this,
it.
that.
So when you were at Unacademy, you were not just an educator, but also as an operator
Yeah.
at a startup.
Not like officially, but we used to do these things.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, at a startup, you have to wear multiple hats.
Yeah. So we were doing that also. That helped me understand that this is how it's done. It was very helpful. But also at the same time, as I told you, it helped me understand that there are certain things which we can avoid. Right? I mean, most of the startups, I think, burn a lot of money without even like giving it a lot of thought. So we realized that this something like this can be stopped, more value offerings can be given. I prepared for this exam myself, so I realized that okay, these are certain things that are missing at most places. So just fill in those basic gaps. And I mean, you can innovate once you have the basics ready at least.
Got
So
it.
we have tried to fill that gap.
Okay, and you were there at Unacademy. I think everything was going great for you.
Yeah.
At what point then you thought like, okay, now is the time I want to, start building something of my own. And I think you built 12 Minutes to CLAT.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about what 12 Minutes to CLAT is?
So it's honestly an interesting story. So when I was at Unacademy, I went on a vacation. I think this is August 23. I went to Kerala, and we got one of the notifications or sort of a order from Unacademy saying कि we have come up because there was a controversy wherein one of the educators at Unacademy said something political, which actually became a huge controversy, right? So everybody was talking about it. So Unacademy felt थोड़ा सा backlash कि भाई something bad has happened and we need to figure it out now. So they realized that all the educators who have their YouTube channels shall shut down their YouTube channels now.
Okay.
Or they should name it in name of their own channel. So they gave this option to everybody. So I thought because we used to get these sort of notifications every week and something or the other, and they were also not too serious about it. Neither were we. So I was just completing my vacation. I came back. I posted some pictures of the vacation on my Instagram. So at that point in time, I realized that I got a warning. कि this is what's happening and you can't even post it on Instagram, your personal photos. So I didn't. I was like, okay, chalo, ठीक है. I spoke to my team. So my team member, I have never seen somebody who is so manipulative in their lives. So he was.
You worked at a law firm, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, it was from home. So I had very limited interaction with a lot of people. I mean, law firm, I had like five people's team where we were just interacting, we were just discussing stuff. So he told me, sir, wait for 10-15 days, don't worry. And I just try to keep a low profile. And like, ये तो मतलब आपको भी पता है 10-12 दिन में it will be over. I said, यार 10-12 दिन में मैं वीडियोस नहीं डाल पा रहा हूँ, मतलब देयर आर जस्ट 3 months लेफ्ट फॉर द एग्जाम, स्टूडेंट्स आर सफरिंग. सो दे लाइक कि नहीं आप डोंट वरी. तो मैंने कहा चलो ठीक है, let it be.
Yeah.
I started posting my videos, and then they told me, "Sir, this is not going to work out." Then I had a meeting with one of the, I would say, top 3 people at an academy. So one of those people, we had a proper meeting. I told them कि I've been working quite professionally. I mean, this is something should not happen. Then they said कि नहीं sir, मतलब आप कर सकते हो, do it, and we'll be very happy. You've been doing a good job. But आप उसको name 12 minutes to clad by the edtech startup's name. So that was a non-negotiable for me. I said कि चलो ठीक है, you keep your
Okay.
startup, I'll keep mine. So then I started 12 minutes to clad as a full-fledged platform. There was no plan as such कि मैं अभी अगस्त में ही start कर दूंगा या सितंबर में ही start कर
So
दूंगा.
12 Minutes to Clat started as a YouTube channel.
Yeah, started only as a YouTube channel. In fact,
And like what kind of content was being posted?
actually everything about Clat. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
And you were the only person
yeah.
posting.
Yeah, everything about Clat, the basic strategies to clear, how to figure out the problems, concepts as well, general concepts जो होते हैं. So all of that was there on the channel. It became a trusted source, honestly. I mean, we were at this point in time also the kind of value offerings we give, where India is one of most affordable coachings for CLAT. I mean, wherein people are charging upwards of 1 lakh, we're doing it at 1/4 the cost. So that is what the point is, because most of India, I believe, do not get access to quality education because they lack the means to afford it. So we are trying to bridge that gap between top NLUs and those kids who.
Yeah, I think there was always this thought. I think law school in India is for privilege.
Yeah.
Because you can't be paying like, I think 1 or 2 lakhs to prepare for an exam, and you have to spend your like most crucial years, which is your last 2 years of your high school, preparing for that, appearing for the exam, and then moving to a city of your choice, and then getting the admission into the law school, which is again very expensive.
It is. It is. I mean, I think it costs around 2.5 to 3 lakhs per year at least if you go to a NLU.
Yeah.
And when there are universities, I mean, 10 lakhs upwards also.
Yeah, I went to
yearly.
Jindal Global Law School.
So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. I mean, and always you don't get the return also out of it. There are like few colleges in India that could give you the return as well.
Yeah.
But not all will give you the return. So that is what
I think
we.
a return, the ROI which we are talking about is in the monetary terms, right?
Yeah, particularly.
Yeah, but I think the network value is really good. Like
Huh.
you get to build a good network.
Yeah, that is always the case. But I mean, for somebody who's taken an education loan to, let's say if they're spending 15 lakh, 20 lakh for 5 years.
Yeah.
If somebody's taken education loan, that person's loan would start right after college.
Yeah.
He or she will have to repay. So most of the people, including me, we had education loans while we were studying in NLU.
Yep.
So we had no option. We just had to start something. Ki, bhai, we need to start paying our loans.
Yeah.
So I think that is the case with more than 50% of the students. That's how.
I think the pressure to create value right after
Yeah,
law
yeah,
school
yeah.
is real. Like, of course, network effect is very good. Like, you get to
Huh.
meet the smartest people.
Definitely. I mean, I don't recognize myself from 2015 now. It's not possible. And but parents also have this concern. I speak to a lot of parents these days. So they have this concern कि सर अच्छा ये XYZ अगर NLU में चले जाएगा तो वहाँ पर पैकेज कितना होगा. That is the only thing they
True,
care,
true.
right? I mean, generally,
Yeah.
that's how you identify a good college and a bad college. So that's how
So
it works.
you said like there are 1,000+ students taking up your course, and I'm sure like there are multiple institutes providing
Yeah.
these courses for LSAT, CLAT. I gave LSAT.
Yeah.
So the number of law students or law aspirants are increasing, and we do have good number of law schools. I know BITS Law School have come up.
Yeah.
Jindal has like increased its batch size to I don't know what.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you feel about it? Like, do we need so many lawyers? I know this was never a question on my mind, but I'm just thinking now.
I mean, we may not need so many lawyers, but the problem is we really need quality lawyers. We have lot of lawyers in India. So my mom used to tell me when I told her that I'm doing CLAT and I will become a lawyer later, and that is back in 2015, right? She has nobody in my family was lawyer. So, and she has studied from this place called Meerut, right? So she was telling me कि my law ki understand, you have to make me understand, because my law ki understanding is there used to be hoardings in Meerut कि 10वीं fail 12वीं करें, 12वीं fail law करें. So she was like this is my understanding of law. So you need to make me understand कि this is the value we are putting in, so we'll get some sort of return out of it. But I think other than Delhi, I stay in Delhi particularly, so I see very good lawyers in Delhi.
Yeah.
But you go to any other high court, I mean, do you go to the best of the high courts other than Delhi and Bombay, you will not find good lawyers at all.
Yeah.
So people are lawyers by degree, but the kind of exposure that they need, I think it's not available in all the law schools particularly.
I think I'm not talking about the exposure bit. Let's consider all the top NLUs and the private law schools. I think everybody is trying to keep up with the trend, and like I think BITS and Jindal are doing a lot of effort so
Yeah.
that their students get to experience everything. But still, of course, their students are in abundance. Do we have as many jobs for them?
Not right now.
Yeah.
And with the AI also like being introduced in most of the major law firms, so most of the major law firms have started using different softwares to make legal research easier. Thing which used to take 5
Correct.
hours earlier would take 1 hour, 1.5 hours.
100%, because I worked at a legal tech startup, so
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. But I mean, even let's say I was recently reading some stats about tier 1 law firms recruiting for their 0 day. They were just like somewhere between 100 to 200, and while that number may be a huge number for them, but
Yeah.
considering the number of people who
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
appear for CLAT, number of people who want to go to law school or are in law school,
Yeah.
I see a huge gap.
I mean, there is a huge gap, but again, if you look at the proportion of people who actually become lawyers every year and the number of jobs we have in top law firms, let's say, same is the case with. I've done my research on this. The same is the case with engineering colleges as well. And you go to the top IITs, people who, let's say, take computer science or something, they go to some other country, they would work in the US or most of these countries. India may, the high paying jobs that we talk about are very limited in every field. People from top MBA schools, also from top IIT schools, also from NLUs as well. So again, you have to be meritorious. यही होता है, या फिर you need to-
Absolutely. But I also feel like law students should also start thinking of their career like in more holistic terms,
Yeah.
right? Like think of working with a startup, start developing those skills. Because now, ever since like I made a career pivot, or let's say you made a career pivot, did people reach out to you that they also want to do something similar? They also want to work with a legal tech startup, or do like marketing or content or sales, any of that, or like create content on YouTube in your case?
Yeah, it happens every month, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they reach out, they discuss how it works out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it requires a lot of consistency first.
Correct.
I mean, because what's happening is in the last 5 years, social media influencers or YouTubers have gone so far that they're doing it full time.
Yeah.
They're investing a lot of time, energy, money, everything in this. So if you're doing it as a part-time thing or a side hustle, or let's say you're not very consistent with it, things sometimes don't work. One thing that worked really well for my YouTube was I was very consistent from day one. I'm not posting every day, but like once a week, twice a
You're
week.
showing
at least.
up.
Yeah, I'm there
Yeah.
with something relevant that could really help people out there. So that is how it worked out for me.
Of course, like you have two roles now, right?
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
a founder, you are a content creator on YouTube. Now you also have a team to, look out for. So I think you're doing it successfully, but I just want to understand from you, like, how is it going?
I mean, honestly, it's a 7-day job now because you just keep doing or discussing something or the other. Thankfully, I have a team that kind of takes responsibility. Chalo, this is my job. This is what we have to do. But honestly, when you talk about content creation bit, that is something I really like to do. So whenever I get a free time, अगर मैं रात को 11 बजे if I'm free, I'll start creating a video. I'll do something about it. I'll figure out different topics on what can be done, what are the issues that students are facing. I'm a part of different communities for CLAT particularly. So I see students discussing different sort of things there. So I try to make that sort of content. That is something which is a hobby again. Okay, I do it as a hobby, but this is something which is very serious because since people have paid, a lot of careers depend on us. So it's actually it's 1.5 years old, right? So we keep creating some sort of systems. This is how everybody is going to work. Somebody is going to keep a check. So yeah, how generally an organization should work. We are a small organization. We'll become bigger as well. So we have put in certain systems that could help us like do certain things on a regular basis without my intervention per se.
Talking about like, you teaching kids, of course, like maybe who are like at the peak or in their high school, do you also feel like you have also become a part-time therapist?
Yeah, definitely. I feel so. I mean, and
Because you're
actually,
like, sir, मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है, I can't do it.
And these are students who don't like their parents' pep talks. Or because parents are mostly, these are rebels.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. So when you speak to them, when you discuss it with them, so they understand also, because they know कि okay, this person is coming from somewhere. He knows he's taught a lot of kids before this. He knows our problems. So yeah, they listen to you as well. So yeah,
But
you
I
have
think
to
even
motivate
with the
them.
parents also, right?
Yeah,
You'll
all
be
the
like,
time.
Sir, bata do.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
should we do?
All the time. I mean, this happens honestly every weekend. I am on a call with a parent who is really stressed about what the child is doing, and then we're discussing, ki, don't worry, this is how it works. So it's a part
So
of the
basically,
process.
you're dealing with your anxiety, parents' anxiety, and the students' anxiety.
Yeah. I mean, it's become a part of my system now. It's been like 1.5 years, but initially it used to be extremely overwhelming. I was not sure कि मतलब मैं सच भी बोल रहा हूँ, सही भी बोल पा रहा हूँ या नहीं बोल पा रहा हूँ. So it was something
So
like
when,
that.
let's say, every year when the CLAT examination is there, who is more anxious?
I am very anxious. I mean, at least a night before the exam. And with that anxiety, I keep telling students, don't worry. I mean, you studied enough. Chill karo. Go to the exam. Do it properly for 2 hours. But I am really anxious till the time the result is not out.
Okay.
And to be very honest, I mean, in education industry, we always celebrate the toppers and everything. But people don't understand the back end task, whereas about 80 to 90% of the students who couldn't do well in the exam, those people would come back to you asking, sir, didn't work out, what do we do next?
Yeah.
So that is where your actual task begins. How do you console this person? How you make this person realize that it's okay, just an exam. You will get more opportunities in life. You can do this, that. So toppers are like something उनको हम छोड़ भी सकते हैं कि तुम्हारा हो गया, congratulations.
correct.
These are the people that we look out for after the exam, and this is something that happens every year. तो मुझे ये लगता है कि once this happens, it will be it's very overwhelming after a point, because students feel कि हमने पूरा साल दिया. Some people gave 2 years to this particular thing.
Correct.
Didn't work out for us. They feel it's the end of the world. अब क्या करेंगे हम? हमने सारे parents हमें बोलेंगे तुमने कुछ नहीं किया. My friends will go to college this year. I'm not going to college. So those things we manage.
So do you try to prepare them for this part as well when you're teaching the course?
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, subtly.
You feel responsible.
Yeah. We have to make them mentally strong. It's very important.
So now that you meet your friends from law school, and I'm sure like a lot of them must be working at, let's say, top law firms today.
Yeah.
Do you still identify with them?
A little less every day. I mean, whenever I am able to meet them, we just only discuss कुछ college की चीजें कि मतलब we did this, that.
Okay, so you're discussing the past.
Yeah, always. I mean, because if we have 4 people and 3 are lawyers and I am out, they will start discussing something that I don't understand mostly.
Oh, this is the next client I'm working for.
Yeah,
this is the
so
next matter I have to appear
Yeah, so they
for.
talk about some like very procedural stuff. I can understand laws, but I can't understand basic procedures जो तुम
Yeah.
अंदर से कर रहे हो. So I'm not able to become a part of them. But I think everybody is really irritated with their job these days. So I kind of again there become all.
How is your life
different?
different from your friends who are still in the legal profession?
My life is, I told you I work 7 days a week, but the flexibility
do
that I
they.
get, they do as well. The flexibility I get it, ki, let's say it's a Tuesday, it's a working day, and let's say my relatives need me or my family needs me, my friends need me. I am always there because I have that flexibility. कि यार कुछ emergency है तो I will always be there in those sort of situations. So मेरे पास ये वाली flexibility है, they don't have it. And generally I think when I was also an associate in a law firm, I gave very little preference to health. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were just working in and out. We were at home. We were eating anything. So, abhi, matlab, I have started realizing that these people need to come out of that bubble. I don't say a lot because otherwise ऐसा लगता है कि मैं थोड़ा शायद ज़्यादा अपने आप को बता रहा हूँ कि मैं कुछ बन रहा हूँ. But people need to understand, I mean, health and everything, because everybody, most of my friends have back pains these days. They have like कि हमें डॉक्टर के पास जाना पड़ा. He said कि आप मतलब थोड़ा चला करो. And all. Like, bro, this is basic. मतलब तुम चला करो.
I think wellness culture in law is not there. Like,
not
I
at
don't
all.
think they like really understand this concept.
Yeah, and even the people who are working, this is my friends are working for 5 years now, they are also conditioned like this now. They also don't consider कि health is very important, their mental well-being
And
is
I
very
think they're
important.
passing it on to their juniors.
Yeah. So abhi the new generation that's coming on, मुझे तो लगता है every 5 years the generation changes.
Yeah.
So the new generation that's coming on, these people are still very practical.
Correct.
I mean, they know their boundaries, they understand. We might not like them because we have been working day and night as an associate, so हम लोग we are slogging. But these people understand कि okay, this is the limit to which I can work, after which my mind won't work, the product won't be good. let's again do it tomorrow. And these are fake emergencies, honestly, created by these organizations. I mean, nobody's dying. I mean, we're not doctors, right? कि हम
But
पहुंच नहीं
I
पाए तो-
think creating boundaries in a law firm is very difficult.
Very difficult.
I think when I was at startup, I was able to create
Yeah.
that boundary and have a lot of control on my calendar. Talking about law firms and big law in general, a large part of big law believes that if you're serious about your career in law, stay away from creating reels or TikToks. What are your thoughts?
I was also like that when I was a law student.
Why?
I was bad at it. I mean, I had a friend. He wherever we used to go, he would be like, "कि यार चलो, let's click good pictures. यहाँ पे photo अच्छा आ रहा है. Let's try this." So I was always the kind of person who like, भाई live in the moment. We're not going to come here again. Probably, मतलब let's like देखते हैं ना, अपनी आंखों से देखते हैं. So I was always averse to getting a lot of pictures clicked or videos clicked. But then when I started. When I posted my first video, I had recorded it, I had edited it जितना ही मुझे आता था. It took me 4 days to finally like have that courage कि मैं इसको post कर देता हूँ. Because I used to feel कि यार मतलब others what would
you
this
were getting
community
that
think?
equal cringe.
Yeah. What would this community think कि ये क्या करता है? But अब तो I've become little shameless in this. I was like, ठीक है,
But
this is
then
what I do.
what's your take on this? Like, if someone is doing it, should they do it? Like, should they post "Get ready with me" for my day
Personally,
one
I am very
internship?
supportive. It is not like everybody's cup of tea also. Well, I mean, if somebody wants to become a creator tomorrow, it's not some creator लोगों को लगता है कि ये तो मतलब कोई भी बन
No,
सकता
just
है.
in general, if somebody wants to do it along their job, they just want to
Yeah.
like record, like their work setup or while they're working, or just like share like this is the XYZ thing I
Yeah.
did at my law.
I to really like it. I mean,
Do you
there
watch
are-
this kind of videos?
I mean, if it's come to my feed, not like specifically,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do. But generally, I really appreciate such people because most people who are working somewhere are really like just in their job. And they're just coming home, they're eating, going back to the same
Yeah.
drill. People who are taking out time for all this are really like, they're managing their time well.
Yeah.
And they're using it for something, I mean, creating some sort of value.
You know, so when I started this podcast, I started with my job.
Yeah.
So then a lot of people came up to me, like at my office, like, "Oh my God, when did you do this? How are you doing it? Do you have so much time?" I'm like, "Of course, we have Saturday, Sunday off. Like, that is like the enough time to work
Yeah,
on
yeah.
your hobby or maybe a side project that you find a lot of purpose in." If someone is starting from 0 followers today or subscribers on YouTube or Instagram, what's the first real move they should be making to, create a brand or a community or like, an audience for themselves?
I think the most important thing is consistency. People over a period of time figure out the right sort of content for them. For me, the niche was very clear, so I was quite clear from the start itself. But if somebody is doing a generalistic thing, over a period of time, when you do, let's say, 30 videos, 40 videos, you figure it out because something is working for me, something is not.
But Keshav, let's say when you started creating content, I don't think I think it was just like the beginning.
Yeah.
But now everybody wants to be
Yeah.
in front of camera. Everybody wants to like feature on a podcast
Yeah.
or like create their content or like build a brand on LinkedIn or Instagram. So then how do you go about it? Because now it's in abundance.
Yeah. I mean, see, still there are ways to do it. There are people who are doing it very properly. Even now, I have seen certain very like relevant new creators also. There's this new guy, I forgot his name, but I started following him yesterday on LinkedIn. He posts things, he's a lawyer, and he posts things on people who are doing something else other than law. And then he's talking about them, not just like people, he's generally talking about how the culture is, how the systems are working. But yeah, coming to your question, if anybody wants to start right now, the most important thing is to figure out your platform. Because some things work on Instagram, some things work on YouTube, LinkedIn. These are all very different sort of people over here. I mean, Instagram pe I'm not going to take any sort of gyan. I'm just going for entertainment. YouTube mein I might still take some gyan. I have the capacity कि मैं एक घंटे का वीडियो भी देख लूँ YouTube पे. Instagram पे not more than 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So that's how my attention span is. So identify the right platform. I see a lot of litigation lawyers these days, so they post about general issues. I mean, India mein for the last 2 years, I am witnessing these alimony and these issues are
Yeah.
like too much in news, right?
Yeah.
People have this say about it. People take different sides on it as well.
Yeah.
So there are people who genuinely tell them about the law. कि भाई तुम कुछ भी side ले लो, media में कुछ भी चल सकता है, but this is how the system works, why the system works like this. And these are such basic things that even if I am not a lawyer, I've got nothing to do with it, I would still watch such content because it's meaningful, it's useful.
Correct.
I can talk about it to my parents or to people around me. So the content that people create ideally has to, because lawyers मुझे लगता है कि they reach to a level where they become non-relatable to most people
Yeah.
after a point, right? So they have to like come down a notch, and then this have to start understanding ki what do people want, exactly what do they want to hear or see.
Yeah.
So that is what I was trying to say, ki you need to understand your audience also. I mean, if I'm creating something, for whom am I creating that?
Yeah.
That needs to be figured out first.
I think my last question to you is that if you're told your 23-year-old self that one day you'd be creating content for living, would you have believed it?
No, honestly not. Honestly not. I mean, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि when the economy moved from TikTok to Instagram Reels,
Yeah.
TikTok was somehow people used to consider it cringe.
Very cringe.
Right?
Yeah.
It was cringe.
Yeah.
So when
Because everybody was dancing.
Yeah, exactly. So when the government banned it and Instagram came with Reels after that, that is when actually people started taking it seriously. I mean, there were people on TikTok also who were doing really well. They had millions of views. But Instagram pe things have gotten a little more formal now. People are appreciating these sort of things. And I think as the generation goes ahead, जैसे नए लोग आते रहेंगे, they will be a part of this, a full-time career. I mean, I know a couple of parents who are looking to, get their children into this.
So you are glad that you took this path.
I think I am, but at 23-year-old, I would never have imagined in 4th or 5th year of my college, I would have been like, no, it's not my cup of tea.
You talked a lot about like being consistent with your content. I think this is hyped a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
consistent, but to what point?
See, consistency is different for different people, but what I realize is these social media apps will only promote you if you are consistent, if you keep giving them content, because they ultimately want to like telecast a lot
So
of
you
content.
surrender to the algorithm.
It is how it is.
Okay. I think that was it from me. I had a great chat.
Same here. Thank you so much for inviting me here.